up? It's me again. This is going to be my review or my thoughts on She-Hulk episode 2. I'm actually quite happy with this episode. Well, I don't know if I would say quite happy. The show's getting somewhere, but I do think this was a better episode than episode 1, because the problems I had with episode 1, it did improve on in this episode. And that may be because the first thing I didn't like about episode 1 was the pacing. It was a bit too fast. Too much was happening. In this episode, it slows down. It takes its time on giving you new subplots and new characters. They don't throw too much at you. And I think this is what we should expect for the rest of the series. So that's good to know, because I'm pretty sure the only reason why episode 1 was as fast as it was because it was trying to get her from Jen Walters to She-Hulk in a very quick manner that didn't quite make sense. But now that we've gotten past it, as bad as it was, the show should get a little better now with the pacing at least. But I will say, now that I think about it, episode 1, comparing episode 1 to episode 2 is better, in my opinion. If I had to go back, episode 1 would be like a 5 out of 10. But that was the first improvement I saw on this episode. I can tell in episode 2, some people said the script was, I've seen a few people say the script was boring. I mean, I don't know what exactly you were expecting in this episode. Like, I don't know if you're expecting a whole crazy fight. I mean, what happened in this episode is everything I expected to happen. Pretty simple. She lost her job, and she got a new job, while also at the same time meeting the person she's going to represent in another case that happened to try to kill her cousin. But then we find out the person who tried to kill her cousin isn't as bad as we thought. I feel like that's pretty interesting. But they're setting things up. They're getting things ready. They're getting things ready for Abomination's trial. We're getting to know She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters a bit more. We got to meet her parents, and I always enjoy when we learn about a superhero's actual family and personal relationships, because a lot of times I feel like that's overlooked in a lot of superhero movies. It's just you get the superhero and that's it. You don't really get anything behind that all too much. We get it now then, and I feel like, say whatever you want about Phase 4, when it comes to more personable things about these heroes, they have improved on that. They have done better on that, while in the past they would have never touched on it. So I do really like that. They're getting things ready. This is only pretty much the setup phase, the beginning of this show. And so far, I feel like episode 2 has been a lot more natural in that. But what was one more thing? Oh, I also liked how they portrayed She-Hulk. In my opinion, has been, I can't say accurate yet, but better than I thought. And it's only episode 2, so it's only going to keep getting better. From what I saw in the trailer, she does start to act very much like her comic self. In episode 2, it only showed that that's going to happen, because the differences between Jennifer Walters and her She-Hulk form is very much different. Jennifer Walters is a bit more clumsy and a bit more not as confident, a bit more slower on the take, while She-Hulk is a lot more posed and a lot more, how they carry themselves is very different. She-Hulk carries herself in a much better way than Jennifer Walters. And there was one detail in the episode where, in her Hulk form, she was just standing up straight tall with great grace while talking to her boss. And then she goes to her human form and she immediately falls out of her chair. It was a very nice and accurate detail that I really liked, because it is something that happened a lot in the comics, where one was definitely better than the other. I won't say better, but one's more clumsy than the other. So I really enjoyed those details on those two personalities. I think sooner or later we're going to see She-Hulk become much more confident. You know, that we usually always see her walk around with. But I imagine that will happen soon. But you can tell that, again, just getting things ready and set up. Abomination. This is the one thing I was scared of the most, because so far Abomination's been a character I'll be honest with you, don't really care much for. I was annoyed on the first few details I saw of Abomination in the trailer with his squeaky voice, but like, I'm not a big Abomination fan, so I wasn't like heartbroken. I was just like, why would they make that change? But after what I saw, I forgot the dude's name. I don't know him well, but his performance in this episode was really good. It actually, I felt something. I felt bad for him, which I didn't expect. I like his character more than I thought I would. I thought I would absolutely just hate his character off the bat, but no, I'm excited to see more from him. Hopefully it actually goes somewhere. I think it will, but I'm not as disappointed with him not being like an enemy or a straight up villain. Because at the end of the day, the MCU is a lot different from the comics. One, they actually go off like time. Time is actually a thing that happens in the MCU, where in the comics it's non-existent. So characters are going to naturally change over a span of 10 years. I guess it's expected. So in a way, it kind of makes more sense. Which I feel like is great, because the one bad thing about Marvel and comics is nothing changes, while things do change in the MCU. But I'm optimistic about the Abomination. I'll say that. But overall, I do think the show is getting better. I also think the show is getting overhated. The one thing I've seen over and over, honestly, I feel like I should make that its own separate video of itself on the hate I've been seeing. It's nothing crazy. It's just some things you can tell who's read the comics and who hasn't, and you can tell. I don't know. It's a bit overboard at some points, but I give this episode, if episode 1 was a 5 out of 10, maybe like a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 or a 7. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I feel like it was okay. It was a bit better than okay. I was really happy. Plus, I really like the end credits scene. Yeah, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Where she wearing them leggings. Yeah, mommy. That's all I gotta say.